We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Om.
Bits. Oh, okay. Good job. No, what I use this. One same problem. Just speak.
Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sah viryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Hari Om all, welcome back. We are covering Karma Yoga, Chapter 3, Bhagavad Gita. So, in response to Arjuna's question, whether karma, why he should not do Jnana Marga, why he should walk on the path of Jnana Marga yet, Bhagavan says that it all Karma Marga or Jnana Marga depends upon the qualification, and you are qualified for Karma Yoga. And now he also says that why someone must perform Karma Yoga before Jnana Marga. So, because Karma Marga, when we are performing Karma Marga, our mind gets purified, and when our mind gets purified, then we will become eligible for Jnana Marga. And what is the attitude which we must perform karma is, he says, Yagnat karma ano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartha karma kadaya mukta sanka samachara. So, here, all the karmas that we must do are worthy of worship. Yagnartha. Okay, yagna is something that we perform. Yagna is only for worship. So we should perform the action that is worthy of worship and worthy of in a manner that is worthy of praise. So when we perform to do that, what happens is that we have to get rid of our likes and dislikes, and the nature should be of worshipful attitude that I am performing it for service of God. So that means Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, etc. Then he says that this knowledge, that how this karma yoga must be performed, that was even given by Brahmaji himself when the world is created. Okay. And he said that, okay, you when Prajapati at the time of creation told all the jivas that you all should work with sahayajna. So with yajna, performing yajna means with cooperative spirit, we should work. And then, and this cooperative spirit, when we work, so when we take care of the things around us, they will take care of us. So Devan Bhavayat Anena, so Te Deva Bhavayantu Vaha. So you take care of Devas, meaning cosmic forces, and they will take care of you. Parasparam Bhavayatha Shreya Paramavapsyatha. So by taking care of each other, both of you can grow higher. Then uh, then also the talking about the Shreyas aspect, they say Ishtan Bhogan hi va devaha dasyate yagna bhavitaha taitattan apradaya ebhya yah bhungyate stenayava saha. So in case if you are taking help of things around you, but if you are not contributing, then you are as good as a thief. That is what it is said. And in the last session, we covered the shloka 13. Yagnashishtashinas santo muchyante sarvakilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagam papaye pachanyatmakarana. This is the shloka that we reviewed in the last session, where what is yagna we talked about. Based on that, what is yagnashishta we talked about. Yagnashishta means remnants of yagna, remainings of yagna. That means whatever we offer to into the oblation, whatever is left over, that is a yagnashishta. That is the prasada. And we talked about what exactly it means. So that is, we talked about how our wealth must be distributed. So there are make it into 6 parts, right? And one goes for Raja, one for um, uh, uh, sorry. Okay, so one goes for Raja, one goes for the different types of charities that we must perform. All of those we talked about. So now the topic is slightly changing. So in chapter 2, what happened is that we talked about an aspect called ladder of fall. Okay, so there are 2 shlokas together. They consisted of something called ladder of fall, how one would go down. So here in this next set of 2 shlokas together, there is another thought process. This is about the circle of life, let us say, in a simple terms. Okay, it is how this whole the cycle of karma, you can say, right? The cycling aspect of karma, how it cycles around, that is something that we are going to discuss in today's session. So now, so we will chant both shlokas together, because together they form one thought process, and then we'll go through the meaning of each. Now, 14th shloka, let us break down the words. Annat bhavanti. Together becomes Annat bhavanti. Bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha. These 3 words are grouped together and it is said as parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Yajnat bhavati. That is Yajnat and bhavati together become Yajnat bhavati. Pajanyah, Yajnah, Karma, Samudbhavaha. This is Shloka 1. So one of you please go off mute and repeat after me. Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha.
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha.
Yajnat bhavati parjanyah.
Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha.
Yajnah karma samudbhavaha.
Yajna karma samudbhavaha.
Okay, so then the next shloka goes as karma brahma udbhavam. Brahma and udbhavam together becomes brahmodbhavam. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahma akshara samudbhavam. Brahma and akshara together become brahmakshara, and with samudbhavam it becomes brahmakshara samudbhavam. Then in the next line, tasmat sarva gatam together becomes tasmat sarva gatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. Yeah, please one of you please repeat after me. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Karma Brahmo Vidhim Bhuvi.
Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Karma Brahmado Vidhi.
Vidhi. Vidhi.
Vidhi.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Brahmaksharam Mudavam.
Okay. Okay. Then tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma.
Nityam yajne pratishtitam.
Yajnam yajne nityam nijne parishtatam.
So in this,
Excuse me, which words are you on?
we are doing 13th and 14th together. Sorry, 14th and 15th together. Okay.
14 or 14?
14, 1, 4.
Yeah. 1-4 and 1-5. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, first let us see the overall big picture view, and then we will discuss a little bit in detail. Then we'll drill down a little deeper. Annat bhavanti bhutani. Annat bhavanti bhutani means all the bhutas, all the jivas are born from anna. Anna means food. Okay? From food, all jivas are born. Now, Parjanyat Anna Sambhavaha. So the food comes because of rain, or okay, food comes from rain. Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyaha. Because of yajna comes rains. Now, this is an interesting thing, right? So, what's the relationship? We'll talk about it. And so, Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyaha. So, see, from Anna comes Bhutas, Bhutani, okay? Anna comes from rain, rain comes from yajna, and yajna comes from karma. Okay, yajna is performed by karma. Now, the next thing says that where is that? Yeah, where is my shloka? Okay, so sorry, like my mouse is not working. I'm in a hotel, so I don't have any. Okay, and now this karma, now it says karma comes from Brahma. And now, so again, here we need to understand, we need to interpret it properly, because now here when it is Brahma is said, it is not Brahmaji as in one with four heads, but Brahma alone, the direct Param Brahma. And it said Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam. Brahma in turn is born from Akshara, imperishable. Okay. So, therefore, Tasmat, okay, Tasmat means therefore, Sarvagatam Brahma. So this Brahma who is all, okay, all pervading, Nityam Yajna Pratishtitam is established in this Yajna. So this is the literal translation of the shloka, these two shlokas together. So now again, as I can hear from Atulji's voice, as soon as I said rain comes because of yajna, that is a challenging task. Okay, what do you mean by rain comes because of yajna? Right? So the first part is clear. Annat bhavanti bhutani. Because if we look at ourselves, we have grown because of the food that we eat, and we were born because of the food that our parents ate, right? Okay, both when they were born, neither the mother did not have the eggs in her womb. The father did not have semen in his body either. But because of the food that was eaten, that food helped them grow those reproductive organs, reproductive capabilities, and with that we were born. So, Annat Bhavati Bhutani, that part is very clear. Now, Anna doesn't mean just food alone. Food as in like food for that goes into our tummy alone, but Anna is representing all natural resources around us. Okay, so that means that Anna means something that is consumed. What is consumed by mouth is Anna. But again, I also am consuming air through my nose. So that means the pranavayu is Anna for my nasika. Like that, pretty much the food is consumed not just through one sense organ, but it is also done through other sense organs also, and they're all equally important. So annat bhavanti bhutani. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Now, what is the difference between a planet like Mars versus us is because we have water on this planet and it rains. Because it rains, the earth is able to produce whatever is it able to produce, and then the life is going on. If not for rain, there won't be any life form there. So here, rain or water, it is talking about all the natural resources because of which everything is possible. Now comes this controversial, or like a little bit more. It's not controversial. It is actually like a little bit more a phrase that requires a little bit extra contemplation. What is it? Yajnat bhavati parjanya. This rain comes because of yajna. Now the question is that how does yajna create rain? Are we talking about? So some people may even think that, like there are like rain-making yajnas are there. Okay, there are some when there are no rains, sometimes even in India, even now, some governments do some pujas and yajnas, perform some yajnas, because of which it is said that it can help with rain. I mean, basically, it is cloud seeding equivalent, right? So, is that what it is referring to? No. Here, rain is actually what they're talking about is rain is the result of everything that happens around the world. Now, how does rain happen? Is because of yajna. You said yajna is giving up something for some higher cause. Okay, so giving up something for higher cause means you are contributing something for a higher cause where you are sharing something and the benefits are accrued and enjoyed by everybody. That is the yajna. So here, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji gave a beautiful explanation. Is that where is water? Water is in the ocean. This water in the ocean has been performed, as because of the yajna, the ocean has given up its water so that clouds are formed in the presence of sun. Then clouds performed yajna and they gave up water, and because of which the rain came and fell on earth. Then now earth in return of taking that water, it gave up its minerals and nutrients and it grew the flowering plants, or fruits and vegetables or whatever, right? And those fruits and vegetables that the trees gave away, that has become our food. Okay? So there is a yajna spirit everywhere. That is the way Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji has explained. Now, I'll pause here to see if you have any questions around this part.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, Venkaji, absolutely makes sense, because there is a spirit of sacrifice or giving in the entire universe as the sun is shining and doing its work to give the heat and the sun and to the world. The moon does its own work, and as you mentioned, the ocean is doing its own sacrifice by giving the water through vapor to make the clouds. So I think that spirit of sacrifice is going all around the world, and ocean is a part of it. So in that context, I think it makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah. So the thing again, like this is Puja Gurudev Swamchinmayanandaji, etc. When our Guru Parampara's knowledge, right? So what they're saying is that this again, like when you look at rain, see, yajna is something that is performed, and results is rain is the result. Okay. So now this rain as a result, when that comes, it is showered and it is experienced and enjoyed by everyone. Okay. So Earth enjoys rain in its own way. Humans enjoy rain its own way. Animals enjoy rain in their own way, and uh, plants enjoy rain in their own way. So in a yajna, when a yajna is performed, when the results come to the totality, and all the entire totality is benefited. This entire cosmos gets benefited. So that idea is being said here. Annat bhavati, annat bhavanti bhutani, parjanyat anna sambhava, yajnat bhavati parjanya. So now yajna karma samudbhavaha. So that means this yajna is born because of karma. So now, in our last session, we talked about 5 types of yajnas: Brahma yajna, Deva yajna, Pitru yajna, Manusha yajna, Bhuta yajna. So in all of those ones, if you look at, there is a karma involved, karma portion involved. If you need to do Brahma yajna, what it means? That means that active study and active sharing of that knowledge is required. So that active karma is involved in Brahma Yajna. And similarly, if you want to preserve natural ecology all around us, active karma is needed. Pitru Yajna, again, when I want to preserve and propagate my culture, it has to be done through active karma alone. Even if I need to take care of fellow human beings, it has to be done through active karma. Bhuta yajna also requires active karma. So in this case, see that every yajna requires performance of karma. And in performance of this karma, you see, it is not any karma that we are doing. One is that it is the dharmic karma we are doing, right? So that means that it is a kartavya karma. It is our duties that we are doing. So that means that these are not desire-based ones, rather they are our duties and responsibilities we are following. And with the respect, obviously with a higher ideal, right? So there is a Ishwararpana Buddhi is there. And when all of that, and then the results when they are coming, it is coming to everyone. So it is a prasada buddhi is also there. So when this is all there, right? So now let us go to the next shloka, which is karma brahma udbhavam vidhi. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Okay. So now karma. So what it is saying is that karma comes from Brahma. So again, as I mentioned before, this Brahma is not Brahmaji, but Brahman alone. Okay. So then what exactly Brahma here means? Okay. Means here Brahma is, I don't know, maybe in your translations, sometimes it might have already be given. If not, please note down. Here Brahma means Vedas. Okay. So it is said that when the Prakriti, or like when the universe is created, how is the universe created? By laws of the nature. Now, when these laws of nature are created, they are universally applicable. That's why they are laws of nature, right? So these laws of nature are not much different from Vedas. Okay, the laws of, okay, so that is, say, and these Vedas is said as if Brahman, long time ago, we studied a book. It is pre-COVID. For a short time, we studied a book. We started studying a book called Jivan Mukti Viveka. Okay.
Very difficult one, yeah.
Okay. In that, there was a Mangalacharna Shloka. In that Mangalacharna Shloka, there was a a term that stayed with me is that Bhagavan has created the universe and Vedas with his Nishwasa. Okay? Meaning exhalation. Because between inhalation and exhalation, inhalation requires some effort. Exhalation doesn't require any effort. Okay? When a person dies too, the last thing he does is exhale. Because even if there was still air in his body, the moment even at the time of death, that air will come out. But inhalation requires energy. So when that shloka said the creation or Vedas are the exhalation of Brahma, what it means is that it is so natural and effortless that has happened. Okay, so that is why what happens is that this karma comes from Brahma, means two ways to understand. The essence, primary goal of Vedas is to give us Brahma Jnana, the final ultimate goal of Vedas. Okay, so now when Brahma Jnana, so one who studies Brahma Jnana, what happens? Once he understands Brahma Jnana, he is considered as knower of Brahman, right? Who and Upanishad also says knower of Brahman is Brahman himself. Okay, once you know Brahman, you become Brahman. Knowing Brahman is becoming Brahman. So this knowledge of this Brahma Vidya is coming from Vedas. So the Vedas themselves are called as Brahma. Okay. So that is why in this particular context, karma is coming from Brahma. Means karma is coming from Vedas. That is number one, first point. Any questions around that?
So one more time, this as you mentioned, the Vedas come from the exhalation of Brahman, which is, in other words, it's produced very naturally without any efforts. That's one point you made. The what I missed out was that yes, the knower of the Brahman becomes Brahman, but then you mentioned that how is the karma being produced from Veda?
Coming to that point, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's good. Okay, so that is the thing, right? So now in Vedas, we know that there are multiple sections. Typically, we say that there are 3 sections in Vedas: Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Jnana Kanda. Upanishads are called as Jnana Kanda, right, where oneness with Brahman is indicated and taught. That is the final goal we set. But in between, we all have desires. Okay? All humans have desires. Now, when we have desires, what should Vedas do? Okay, so think about an example. A parent responsibility is to give best quality, healthy food to the child. Agreed? Healthy food to the child. Now, child occasionally wants to eat junk food too. Okay, which is a common thing. Okay, a child wants to eat candy, child wants to eat ice cream, child wants to eat, drink soda, whatever. Basically, child wants to have so many junk food. So at that time, who is the provider of that junk food?
Parents also, yeah.
So that parent alone has to give that junk food alone. And because they cannot say, the parent cannot say, okay, so my duty is only to give swadishta shuddha bhojan. Okay.
Pashtic.
Whereas if you want junk food, go to next door neighbor. They can say that. Right? They give that. Okay. And say that even though I'm giving this is temporary, it is a bad thing, it is not good, you have to eat it in limited quantity, etc. Because the healthy food is your ultimate goal. Okay? So in the same way, what is happening is, and at the same time, now if the child asks for a cigarette, okay, mother is not going to give it. Okay? The parent is not going to give. If the child says like, oh, I want a cigarette or I want alcohol or something, no, that is not never given. So in this case, what happened? There is the ultimate goal of healthy, nutritious food is to be given. Occasionally, if child wants junk food, probably yes. But on the other hand, something like alcohol or cigarettes are never, right? So Vedas also follow the same philosophy. What do Vedas do first? Their ultimate goal is to give the knowledge of Brahman,
Oh.
so that you become one with Brahman and you realize your true nature. That is the goal. Now, occasionally we do have other desires other than Brahman. Okay, I want, I mean, sometimes there are sattvic desires, sometimes rajasic desires, sometimes tamasic desires, right? Oh, I like to see Brahman. I like to become one with Brahman, but before that, I want to travel. Okay, so it could be for some people, it could be, oh, I want to go to White Mountains or so somewhere like what's the other one? The White Mountains is right close to us, but Grand Canyon in Arizona. Okay, something like that. And some people will say, no, I want Ayodhya. I want to go. But someone wants to say that, oh, I want to. So in all of this, what happens is that there are dharmika desires and then there are adharmika desires. Okay. So Vedas don't approve of or encourage or give guidance to adharmika desires, fulfillment of adharmika desires. But they give a way to fulfill your dharmika desires. So now when they give a way out to fulfill your dharmika desires, that is nothing but karma kanda. Okay. So now in that karma kanda, how can I be happy in this life, right? In this body. Okay. Or I want to enjoy a little bit more subtle pleasures, going into a different domain like swarga. Okay. So even think about, for someone, a gross happiness like such as I want to eat the best food and have the best drink. Okay, well, it may be non-alcoholic, but look, I want to have the best this, best that, and a best bed like that. That is great sukha for them. Now, for someone who is more refined, they're not too much into eating food. Yeah, food is good, etc. But I have subtler desire. I want to listen to a beautiful music live. Okay, some particular I don't know, maybe a Hindustani singer is coming, or maybe a Carnatic musician is coming, and I heard great things about him, and I want to listen their instrumental music or their thing. So see that for that they are willing to pay a lot more than what you would pay for lunch at a good restaurant, a great restaurant. Why? Because that sukha is a little bit more subtle. Okay. See, this is also sukha. Eating a nice buffet in a restaurant with 100 varieties of foods are there, like with 20 cuisines and everything. You can eat anything you want, how much ever you want. That is also sukha. But compared to that, this sukha, they think that, oh, this is much more subtler and it is more happiness giving. So in the same way, see, like the domain-based sukha is keep on going higher and higher as it is going subtler and subtler. So more subtler sukhas are called as Swarga Sukha. Okay.
Mm.
This Swarga Sukha cannot be experienced in this body. It has to be experienced in a different body. So I'm not content with the Sukha here. I want to go to next level, go to Swarga and experience Sukha. And Veda says, yes, there is a way to go to Swarga and experience the Swarga Sukha. That is also in Vedas. Okay, so in both these cases, it is performance of karma alone, and all our karmas, whether those kind of sukhas that we want to experience, or whether we want to take care of everything, all of these are karmas are being given through, okay, so they are all listed through this Vedas. So that is what karma Brahma Udbhavam. Okay. Any questions around that?
So basically, you mentioned that the ultimate goal of the Veda is the Brahma Jnana. Along the way, the Veda has the means to fulfill your other desires, namely dharmic, not the adharmic, like you say, you want to give your kid cigarette or alcohol. So the dharmic desires are the Swargaloka, as you mentioned, through Karma Kanda. And so whether you want Brahma Jnanam, which requires Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan, and follow the Jnana Kanda, the dharmic desires would require Karma Kanda, but either way, there is a karma involved, and therefore the karma is produced through Vedas. Is that
Yeah,
fair?
yeah. So yeah, because unless you want to go to Brahmajnana, okay, karma is involved, right? Even in learning of Brahmajnana, karma is involved in terms of Shravana Manana, and only in final Nididhyasana, karma is not involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's even if you think about regular colleges also, right? You think about like 4-year college degree,
Mm-hmm.
the ultimate goal is to pass
Mm-hmm.
undergrad, okay, undergrad. But in between, children want to experience different things.
Sure.
Okay, many of them are dharmic only. Okay, so I mean, like, unfortunately, like what we know is, oh, kids in colleges they drink a lot, they party a lot, etc. But other than those, they also have a lot of other types of fun. I mean, they volunteer in different kinds of organizations. They do these things, those things, etc. All of them are slightly deviating from their main goal of graduating, right? And college is offering those two.
Mhm.
Right? So Vedas are also like that. Okay. If a 4-year college is able to offer that, why not Vedas?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it is. Right. So
It's called eclectic. Everything is mixed up together.
yeah.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
And what is the source of this Vedas is Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam. So this Vedas comes from Akshara. Akshara means imperishable. The Akshara means perishable. Akshara means imperishable. Okay? So it is coming from that Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam. So this is what the Vedas are coming from Brahman alone. So now it's saying Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. So since Vedas are all coming from Brahma, okay, here we are talking about Brahmaji. Veda can shed light on all aspects. Okay, so Vedas are repository of all knowledge. Like a, when it is something like this, right? Vedas are repository of all knowledge means there are two ways to understand. One is that everything must be in Vedas. So there is COVID-19 has come in 2020, right? So COVID-19 vaccination information should be there in Vedas. That is one way to understand. But what it is saying is that is not the way to understand. Okay, because one of the common things is that, oh, apparently Vedas says everything. That is not it. Means Tasma Sarvagatam Brahma, Vedas knows everything means think about Veda as a huge big light. Okay, Now, so for example, there's a dark room, and in that dark room, you turn on a 500 watts or a 1,000-watt light. When you turn on a 1,000-watt light, what happens? When a 1,000-watt light bulb is turned on, every nook and corner of the room is illuminated. Okay, it illuminates everything that is in the room. So in the same way, once we understand Vedas and the thought process of Vedas, that can be used to understand everything else. So that is how we must understand Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yagne Pratishtitam. So Nityam means always. So Yagne Pratishtitam. So therefore, now this part is instruction. What is the instruction? I must always be established in Yajna. Why? When I perform Yajna, what happens when I perform Yajna? From Yajna, when we're talking about Yajna, what is the Yajna? So, this Pancha Mahayajnas. When I perform these Pancha Mahayajnas, from there, Parjanya, natural resources, rain come, and from that, Parjanya, Anna. So that is things that are required for our nourishment. They all come, and from there, Bhutas come, meaning like, we will be able to uh, sustain our existence. Okay, we are not talking about existence as sub existence, not like that, but temporal existence. Okay, and because of that, okay, so like that it goes. So now, cosmic wheel of action, Brahmaji, yeah, sorry, Brahma, okay, imperishable Brahman. From there came Vedas. From Vedas came karmas. Karmas help with yajna. When you perform yajna, rain comes. From rain, Anna comes. From Anna, Bhutas come. Okay. And these Bhutas, what are they doing? They are performing karma. As Bhutas, we must perform karma. And from karma, those karmas again, what kind of karmas? That are sanctioned by Vedas. And okay, with that karmas we perform perform yajna, and like that, this is a natural cycle that goes around. So our see, the thing is that when we go to any if you order some I don't know, like a mouse from Amazon nowadays, because like now local stores don't it is so cheap that there's no value and it is a waste of space for retailers to keep something as cheap as mouse, right? So if you order a mouse from Amazon or something like that, it is like maybe for, I don't know, maybe $10 or $5, whatever. But even that mouse, that $5 mouse, come with a like this little paper, okay, 2-inch by 3-inch paper with instructions on it. Yeah. I cannot really read any of those instructions because it is so printed so small. Okay, but at least it comes with a instruction and guide. Now, as humans, when we are born, okay, as soon as we are born, if the obstetrician, right, or the midwife, if they look around in the womb, they can't find any instruction manual, right? So where is the instruction manual for our human life? The manual for instruction is Vedas, and these Vedas are Bhagwan's personal guidance for us. So, and the first of the instructions of this guidance is to perform karma. And what kind of karma has to perform? To fulfill yajna. And this guidance is always, okay, has to be done, right? I mean, this performance of yajna has to be done all the time. So that is what nityam yajne pratishtam. Abide in yourself in performance of this yajna. And this yajna is nothing other than karma yoga, because it's all coming in karma yoga alone, right? Chapter, right? So my role in this cosmic wheel is performing the karma as Panchamaha Yajna. And this is a role I must fulfill. So the and so that's what it is. So do you have like a complete understanding on the cosmic cycle of this one?
Just one clarifying question though. So in the last quarter, it says that Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahman. So the Sarvagatam is the all-pervading Brahman.
Mhm.
Nityam Yagne Pratishtatam, that you should abide into the
Mhm.
into the yajna. So what is the relation between the all-pervading Brahman
So
which
this
resides in the
this
karma?
Sarvagatam Brahma is Vedas are shedding light on everything.
Oh, okay. So here Brahman is not the Brahman, it is the Veda.
Veda, yeah. These Vedas are shedding light on everything and they are covering all aspects. So you, okay, so that understanding that Vedas are spreading light on every aspect of life, in everything, you focus yourself in performing yajnas. By performing these 5 yajnas, you are touching every part of your life. Okay, so there is no scope for anything outside of these 5 yajnas. Okay, and Vedas are covering all of those areas. Okay.
So Vedas basically is the same as Brahman. I mean, as in later chapters, it says, I am Vedas, I am intelligence, I am memory, I am everything. I mean, God, Brahman is in everything. So basically, the concept is that we have to be fully aware and conscious of the presence of Brahman within ourselves on a continuous basis as much as we can, so that all the actions that we perform are, in the yajna spirit, that we are doing it as a dedication to the serving God. And so if we have that spirit continuously, then everything becomes very easy, because we sometimes have to tease out these different parts of the knowledge that we learn. But at the end, the bottom line is we have to be continuously able to follow this concept of that Brahman is everywhere, is in everything. And it is what we have to keep reminding ourselves who we are and be able to perform our actions accordingly and not fall into trap of the egocentric desires, which pushes us down back to I and mine and I want and I. So but I mean, I'm sure the knowledge becomes much more detailed, as you said, in the way that it has so many different components, but at the end, the process is, as we keep thinking the same thing as often as is possible, that everything is Brahman and we are Brahman and everything we are doing is for Brahman. And once we know that concept, then we become Brahman anyway. But that takes a lot of, whatever.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is that's where, right? I mean, that takes your last statement. That takes a lot of. You left it a little bit vague. Okay.
Well, it is not as simple as it is. I mean, we are not Jivan Muktas, as you said.
So
We do fall back into our own patterns and tendencies. What can you do based upon our gunas?
Yes.
But the aim is to be sattvic as much as possible and to keep our direction focused in the one way, which is single pointedness, and try to be connected as much as possible within and outside. See everybody as Brahman and see everything. So if we treat nature as well as we treat ourselves, and we treat everybody else the same as we treat ourselves, and see everything and have the equanimity. And like you said, we don't want to have likes and dislikes, and I think the themes are the same, repeated in the whole process. Then we can be a lot more at ease and we can be at peace. And happiness is a part of that process.
Yeah. So here the thing is that what's happening is that, as say, like when we what the indication is something, right? So when I'm not ready, fully ready, even though I like this idea that okay, I want to keep Brahman in my mind, I am unable to keep Brahman in my mind. So I'm struggling and I'm falling down. I'm struggling and I'm falling down. So what is the problem? The problem is that Karma Yoga wasn't performed properly.
Right.
What do you mean by Karma Yoga is not performed properly? When we perform Karma Yoga, as described here, continually, then what happens is all the negative tendencies that are there in us as desires, as likes and dislikes, as laziness, meaning like, all the tamas and rajas, okay, both tamas and rajas are different types of dirt in our mind. Yeah. So it is said, say for example, I mean, one of the beautiful example Puja Gurudev Swami Chidananda gives is that when a river is flowing,
Mm.
can you see the bottom of the river? If the river is flowing fast, you cannot see the bottom of the river. Riverbed cannot be seen. Similarly, if the river has got dirt, okay, and color is like muddy, brown color, dirt is there, you cannot see the bottom of the river. So one is that flow is rajas. Okay. So that agitation, when the agitation is there, I cannot see the Brahman either in me or in outside world. Because when I have agitations in the mind, these agitations are caused by Rajoguna. And when I have dirt in my mind, okay, so certain likes or dislikes. So I mean, like dirt doesn't mean negative alone, positive too. Positive dirt and negative dirt. If I like you, I don't see your faults, even if you are not doing right thing, and if I have to replace you with someone who does right thing, can do, who is more efficient because I like you, I can't let go of you. Okay, so there I cannot see the bottom. And similarly, if I dislike you, also there is a problem where even though you're doing a great job, because of my dislike, I cannot see the truth behind it. So this is the tamoguna. So what is happening is because of this rajoguna and tamoguna that are there in our heart, we are unable to digest. I mean, like we want to, okay, please don't misunderstand. We want to, but we are unable to assimilate this Brahma Jnana. We are unable to abide in this Brahma Jnana. So, for us to be able to abide in Brahma Jnana, we have to get rid of these things that don't belong in us, that Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So, both of them are removed through Karma Yoga. So that is why he's saying like, okay, do perform action, what attitude, etc. Keep performing, keep performing, keep performing. So that's why Lord Krishna is saying that he's giving so much importance to performance of action. Okay. Any other questions or comments? So we will start the next shloka in the next session. So we'll conclude here. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं
पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात्
दच्यते
पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य
पूर्णस्य
पूर्णमादाय
पूर्णमादाय
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते।
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्